You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's JPA here. In today's video I'm going to be discussing Rangers versus Livingston tomorrow. As for getting this video, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well, and we'll be on our way. So Rangers versus Livingston tomorrow at Ibrox, 3 PM kickoff. Unfortunately, there's not going to be any TV coverage of this. I think they'll probably have it on Rangers TV as they always do. That's obviously how I'm going to have to try and watch the game. But yeah, it should be a really interesting tie. Livingston are a good side, despite the fact they're sitting 9th in the league. They've conceded 18 goals this season, in what's that, 11 games or something. It doesn't look good. I've seen their display against Kilmarnock. The defending was really poor, although they did get a penalty that was never a penalty in my opinion. I think the player dived and not really much contact in that, but they were unlucky. But they are a good side, particularly against Rangers and Celtic. They seem to up their game for us. They're obviously the only team that have stopped us from scoring this season. Looking at the recent results, as I just mentioned, they lost to Kilmarnock last week 3-1 at home. They won against Alloa 2-1 and 5-1 against Edinburgh City in the Betfred, whatever. I don't even know what the competition is now. It doesn't really make sense to me, that competition. But they've won 2 games in that. They've also, their last away win, it was Dundee United. I think it was a last minute goal in that game to win the game. Most of the time they play a 4-2-3-1, and I say most of the time. I think they switched it up to a 4-5-1 in the Edinburgh City game for some reason, which they won 5-1. Interestingly enough, they played 4-5-1 against Rangers when we drew that 0-0 game, but they switched it to a 5-3-2 against Celtic and played quite attacking, which is interesting. They did seem to go after Celtic in that game and create quite a few problems, but I just didn't see them doing it this time. I think they'll be very, very physical. They'll be very organised at the back, and they'll do this big tactic where they'll launch it forward, try and win free kicks in dangerous areas and try and whip the ball in. They'll try and get throw-ins near our box and try and whip it in that way and kind of feed off second balls. That's pretty much what their tactic's going to be. Obviously they've not got the big Lyndon Dykes up there now. They've now replaced him with J. Emmanuel Thomas, who I don't know if you'll remember this, played for Arsenal years ago. He only made 1 appearance for them, but he's spent most of his career in the lower leagues of England. He's a reasonably good player actually. I can remember him quite well. But he's only made 1 appearance for Livingston, and that was against Kilmarnock. There's no scored yet. I think he hit the bar against them, quite unlucky. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays against us, whether he does start or no. They've been playing another striker as well. They usually play with the winger Scott Tiffany up front as well, so a couple of options there for them. I think Jack Hamilton played up front the last time they played us, because I think Dykes was just processing his move to QPR at that point. Moving on to Rangers, which is obviously what you want to be hearing. Banisic obviously had a wee bit of a knock against Standard Liège, went off injured. He's expected to miss out. Gerrard didn't completely dismiss him from the game, but I think he'll probably rest him. No got a problem with that. I thought Bassey was absolutely excellent when he came on. He's very powerful and physical, which is what you need in this game. Livingston are going to be very physical, particularly in midfield, and Bassey is just going to fit in so well there. Didn't have any problems about bringing him in, to be honest. 3 or 4 players, Gerrard's saying they took a couple of kicks and bruises and stuff, which I'd imagine he'll probably rest a couple of players. Don't know who those players will be. I'd imagine Brandon Barker probably won't play, but I think Callander will probably come back in. Aribo is looking for obviously more game time. He did say that Roof is not going to play. He might get a wee spot on the bench, but I don't think he's going to start the game. Which begs the question, do you play Morelos? Morelos, I think, has actually been playing well, but he's not scoring, which is obviously what you want your strikers to be doing. And could we see Etten come in there? Because he's got obviously a big physical presence in the box, which is what we need against Livingston. They're very physical in there. so we could use his height advantage, or we could go with wee Jermaine Defoe, who hasn't had much football this season, but give Defoe a chance and he will score. We obviously know that. So I'll just give you my prediction now. I'm going to go for the standard that we've set ourselves in the last couple of games. I'm going to go Rangers 2, Livingston 0. Goal scorers, I'm going to go for Ryan Kent and I'm going to go for Scotty Arfield. This obviously all depends on who plays in that midfield. I'd imagine he might even bring Davis back in, give maybe Jack a wee bit more game time as well. So it'll be interesting to see what his lineup he goes with. And I think the good thing is for Rangers right now, our squad's got so much depth that we could drop 3-4 first team players and replace them with really good quality. I don't think like last year, I don't think we could have really done that, particularly if the likes of Jack or even Morelos or Barisic, God forbid, if he was out of the team, you'd really struggle to replace him with top quality players. But I think we've got quality in every position now. So I'm really not that I'm not interested who plays, but it really doesn't bother me if he drops someone else comes in. I'm just as happy to see them play as anybody else, really. So really happy with the squad right now. Tell me what you guys think down below. Where your predictions have actually been pretty on the money in the last few weeks with these predictions. You're probably doing better than me, to be honest. But yeah, I'm just going to finish the video there, wrap up guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers guys.